Shelby Cobra, a name that echoes through automotive history with the thunder of a V8 and the purity of a race-bred design, is reincarnated for the year 2026 not as a mere retro tribute, but as a definitive statement on the analog supercar in a digital age. This modern iteration is a careful, passionate, and technologically profound evolution of Carroll Shelby's original philosophy: brutal power, minimal weight, and a direct, unfiltered connection between driver and machine. Conceived as a low-volume, bespoke masterpiece, the 2026 Cobra exists outside the typical product cycles of major manufacturers, serving instead as a rolling testament to an undiluted driving ethos. Its development was driven by a singular question: what would Carroll Shelby create today if unshackled by period constraints, equipped with modern materials and engineering, yet utterly resistant to the creep of electronic numbness and autonomous driving trends? The answer is a car that feels simultaneously ancient in its raw mechanical honesty and futuristic in its execution. A car where carbon fiber and lithium-ion batteries coexist with a thunderous cross-plane V8, and where the only driving aids are those that enhance, rather than interrupt, the sacred dialogue between human hands, a steering wheel, and the road. At the heart of the 2026 Cobra's identity is its propulsion system, a masterpiece of internal combustion engineering that defiantly celebrates the piston engine's peak before an electric future becomes mandatory. The powerplant is an all-new, clean-sheet design dubbed the Coid V8, a 5.2-liter, naturally aspirated, flat-plane crank engine, a significant departure from the traditional cross-plane units of old. This choice is pivotal. While the classic Cobra rumble is sacrificed, the engineering benefits are profound. The flat-plane crank allows for a freer revving architecture, reduced internal inertia, and a more efficient exhaust scavenging. The result is an engine that spins with the ferocity of a racing unit, redlining at a searing 9,000 RPM and producing a spine-tingling metallic howl that crescendos through a meticulously tuned, active valve exhaust system made from Inconel and titanium. The output figures are staggering: 626 horsepower at 8,750 RPM and 398 lb-ft of torque at 7,000 RPM. These numbers, however, tell only half the story. The engine is a study in lightweight construction, featuring a deep-sump aluminum block with plasma-sprayed cylinder bores, titanium connecting rods and valves, and carbon fiber intake manifolds. It employs a hybridized dry-sump oiling system with an external reservoir to ensure lubrication during extreme cornering and features individual throttle bodies for instantaneous response. Crucially, this engine is paired with a hybrid system, but not for silent electric-only driving. The Cobra SE Boost system is a Formula One-derived MGUK motor generator unit, kinetic unit, seamlessly integrated between the engine and the transmission. This compact electric motor adds an immediate 161 horsepower and 184 lb-ft of torque, filling the transient torque gap below 4,000 RPM and providing a devastating, latency-free boost under full acceleration. The energy for this system is stored in a compact, liquid-cooled lithium titanate battery pack mounted low behind the seats. This battery is not designed for long electric range, but for rapid power discharge and recharge, its primary source being aggressive regenerative braking that harvests kinetic energy the moment the driver lifts off the throttle or applies the brakes, converting the Cobra's monumental speed back into electrical potential. The combined system output is a ferocious 787 horsepower, channeled exclusively to the rear wheels through a bespoke 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, DCT, with helical-cut gears for reduced whine. This transmission can operate in a fully automatic lightning-quick mode, but is optimized for manual control via forged aluminum paddle shifters mounted on the steering column. The final drive is a limited-slip differential with an electronically controlled hydraulic clutch pack, capable of varying lockup from 0 to 100% in milliseconds based on yaw, throttle, and steering input, effectively acting as a stability aid without intrusive brake-based systems. The chassis and structure of the 2026 Cobra are where advanced materials enable the classic lightweight, stiff formula to reach new heights. The core is a monocoque tub, and front and rear subframes constructed entirely from autoclave-cured woven carbon fiber. This tub is not a derivative of a larger manufacturer's platform, but was designed solely for this vehicle, with every weave direction optimized for torsional rigidity and crash energy management. The result is a chassis stiffness figure exceeding 60,000 Nm per degree, a number that rivals the stiffest hypercars, providing an immaculately solid foundation for the suspension. The body panels, save for the aluminum hood, are also carbon fiber, clear-coated to show the weave as a testament to the construction. The suspension system is a state-of-the-art, fully independent double wishbone setup with inboard adaptive dampers at all four corners. These dampers, developed with a motorsport supplier, use multi-phase magnetic fluid whose viscosity can be altered by an electromagnetic charge thousandths of a second, constantly adjusting compression, and rebound to keep the massive tires in optimal contact with the pavement. The system features three primary modes: Tour, which offers a surprising level of compliance for long journeys; Sport, the default setting for spirited driving, providing crisp body control; and Track, which essentially locks the dampers into their firmest setting for circuit work. The steering is an electrically assisted rack and pinion system, but its programming is a work of art. It offers variable ratios and effort, but the core feedback is engineered to be hypertransparent. Sensors measure everything from cornering forces to the minute vibrations of the tire contact patches, filtering out only harshness from road imperfections, but faithfully communicating every nuance of grip level back to the thick-rimmed, Alcantara-wrapped steering wheel. There is no active rear-wheel steering. The engineers believed it would dilute the car's purest, predictable nature. The braking system is equally monumental, consisting of carbon ceramic discs, 420 mm at the front gripped by massive 10-piston monoblock calipers, and 380 mm at the rear with 4-piston calipers. The brake-by-wire system integrates seamlessly with the regenerative braking of the hybrid unit, providing a perfectly linear and consistent pedal feel whether the car is harvesting energy or not. The exterior design of the 2026 Cobra is a masterclass in respectful evolution. It is immediately recognizable as a Cobra: the long hood, the short rear deck, the pronounced wheel arches. But every line has been aerodynamically rationalized and sculpted with modern computational fluid dynamics. The front end is dominated by a large, forward-leaning trapezoidal grille opening, an evolution of the classic mouth, but now fully functional for cooling and brake ducting. Flanking it are complex, layered LED headlights that replicate the simple round shape of the original, but with intricate, three-dimensional light guides that create a predatory, eye signature. The hood features a pronounced, functional power bulge and discrete NACA ducts that channel air to the intake. The profile is the car's most iconic view, with a dramatically sweeping fender line that peaks over the front wheels and flows rearward, culminating in muscular haunches that engulf the massive rear tires. The doors cut deep into the roof, easing entry into the low cabin. Along the sides, functional vents extract high-pressure air from the wheel wells, and a subtle side sill incorporates an aerodynamic channel. The rear is perhaps the most modern interpretation, with a full-width, slender LED taillight bar that sits above a prominent diffuser, crafted from exposed carbon fiber. The dual center-exit exhausts are finished in brushed titanium. Notably, there is no large rear wing. Downforce is managed entirely by the car's ground effect aerodynamics. A completely flat underbody, sealed with side skirts, leads to a Venturi tunnel at the rear that accelerates air underneath the car, creating a low-pressure zone and significant downforce without the drag penalty of a wing. A small, active rear spoiler deploys only at high speeds above 120 mph for added stability. The car rides on forged magnesium wheels, 20 inches in diameter at the front and 21 inches at the rear, shod with bespoke, track-focused Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2R tires, 265/30 ZR20 front and 325/25 ZR21 rear. Their enormous footprint the only hint at the power they must transmit. Opening the lightweight, pillarless door reveals an interior that is a fusion of a 1960s race car's purpose and a 2026 technology showcase. The cabin is intimate, enveloping and focused entirely on the driver. The dashboard is a single, sweeping wing of exposed carbon fiber, topped with a seamless layer of supple, semi-aniline leather. Directly ahead of the driver is not a screen, but a configurable, high-resolution TFT display binnacle that can toggle between several layouts, from a classic dual-dial setup with a central tachometer to a minimalist digital strip showing only speed and gear. The center stack is purposefully sparse, featuring physical milled aluminum knobs for climate control and a row of toggle switches for critical functions like the hazard lights, exhaust mode, and stability control, which can be fully disabled by a long press. The infotainment system is accessed through a sleek, retractable 10.2-inch touchscreen that emerges from the center dash only when needed, controlling navigation, media, and detailed vehicle telemetry. The steering wheel, free of buttons to avoid distraction, features a central horn push that echoes the original's design and integrated LED shift lights at the top of the rim. The seats are fixed-back carbon fiber racing shells, thinly padded with memory foam, and upholstered in a combination of leather and breathable Alcantara, featuring multi-point harness slots. They are mounted directly to the floor, but the entire pedal box and steering column adjust electrically over a wide range to fit the driver. Behind the seats is a small parcel shelf, enough for a set of helmets or soft bags, as there is no traditional trunk. The front frunk, is shallow, housing the battery charger and a tire repair kit. The materials throughout are a celebration of tactility: machined aluminum, knurled switchgear, exposed carbon structural members, and perfectly stitched leather. Sound insulation is minimal by design, allowing the orchestra of the engine, intake roar, and exhaust note to fill the cabin, though active noise cancellation is available in tour mode to reduce drone on highways. The only significant luxury concession is a superb 12-speaker premium audio system, but its finest performance is often turned off in favor of the mechanical symphony just behind the firewall. The performance figures of the 2026 Cobra are as terrifying as they are exhilarating. The hybrid-assisted powertrain catapults the car from 0 to 60 mph in a blistering 2.7 seconds, with the 0-100 mph dash dispatched in under 5.5 seconds. The quarter-mile flashes by in 10.2 seconds at 142 mph. The top speed is electronically limited to 212 mph, a limit imposed more by tire ratings than any lack of power. On a circuit, the car's true genius is revealed. The combination of immense mechanical grip from the tires, the telepathic adaptive damping, and the relentless, linear power delivery from the hybrid V8 allows for cornering speeds that defy physics and the driver's courage. Lateral acceleration exceeds 1.2 G consistently. The braking performance is equally monumental, with repeated stops from 70 mph in under 150 feet with zero fade, thanks to the carbon ceramic system and regenerative assistance. Yet, for all its track prowess, the Cobra is surprisingly livable. In its softest damper setting and with the exhaust in its quiet mode, it can cruise comfortably on the highway, the hybrid system allowing for gentle, low RPM town driving and yielding a combined fuel economy figure of around 22 mpg, a minor miracle given the performance on tap. The driving experience is immersive and demanding. There is no autonomous cruise control, no lane keeping assist, no self-parking. The car demands the driver's full attention, rewarding skill with a sense of involvement that is increasingly rare. The feedback through the seat, the wheel, and the pedals is constant and rich, communicating the state of the tires, the suspension loading, and the engine's mood with crystal clarity. Owning a 2026 Shelby Cobra is an exclusive proposition. Production is limited to 500 units worldwide, each built to order at a dedicated small-scale assembly facility. The buying process begins with an extensive consultation to tailor every aspect of the car, paint colors ranging from period-correct hues to modern chromaflare effects, interior material choices, stitch colors, and even bespoke luggage sets. Every owner is invited to a 2-day driving experience at a premier racing school to learn the capabilities of their vehicle under professional instruction. The price, exceeding $450,000 before options, places it firmly in the realm of exotic hypercars, but its philosophy is diametrically opposed to many of them. It is not a technological showcase of autonomous capability or hybrid efficiency for its own sake. It is a maximalist celebration of the driver as the central, most important component of the driving experience. It is a car that acknowledges the future with its materials and hybrid system, but worships the past with its sensory bombardment and manual, analog ethos. In an era where cars are increasingly becoming appliances or digital lounges, the 2026 Shelby Cobra is a visceral, thunderous, and uncompromising reminder of why people fell in love with driving in the first place. It is not a car for everyone. It is too loud, too raw, too demanding. But for those few who understand its language, who cherish the smell of hot oil and the sound of screaming metal, who see driving not as a commute but as a craft, it is not just a car. It is the purest, most potent, and most authentic expression of automotive passion conceivable in the year 2026. A final, glorious ode to the internal combustion engine conducted at 9,000 revolutions per minute.